G'day, this is Captain Australia. I'm out at Southbank today. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Captain Australia. I'm going to walk from Brisbane to Melbourne on the 26th of December 2021 for an awesome charity called the Kids Cancer Project. As a cancer survivor myself, I'm walking for my own personal healing, but also, and more importantly, for that charity, it's a dramatically worthy cause. Its mission is to resolve pediatric cancer in our lifetimes, and I could not abide seeing children wait for treatment. And today I'm just playing with the equipment that I have, seeing if I can stream in landscape, which I seem to be able to do, and whether that's better. So this is as much for science and for my own learning as anything else. Let's go take a look at the city. Let's see. We don't want to have an accident or bash anybody with a selfie stick. So behind me is sunny Brisbane. Yeah, that's much better. You can see much more of the city there. Let's give you a better view. Okie dokie. G'day, how you doing? Getting some looks as you do. So, we're just going to take a walk through the city. And as we do, I guess I'll explain the purpose of what I'm doing. This is not a nervous breakdown. This is not a midlife crisis or a mental collapse. I am working in service of a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. What led me to that is my own stage 4 cancer. It wrecked me, broke me. I spent the last 4 years before this year as a wreck on the edge of a cliff. I saw no hope for healing, no hope for my future. And that took me back to a time in my childhood when I walked from Brisbane to Sydney, and it was to escape a bad domestic situation. So it was like leaving a hospital room where you felt doomed to die. And I needed that feeling again. So I realized I need to just sling a pack over my shoulder and take a big walk. But then I realized, you know what, that's potentially a big thing. That's potentially something that I could use to be of service. So I brought Captain Australia back to life and decided to do it for the Kids Cancer Project because of all of the things I've seen in my life. Oh yeah, cheers. Cheers, mate. Thank you. All the best. Yes, all of the charities that I've come across in my life, they're all so worthy, and you can get a certain sort of charity fatigue. But the thing that crystallises in my mind is the fact that 950 Australian children every year are diagnosed with cancer. 200 of them will die. Well, we're all going to die, but they will not survive treatment. And then after that, the gut-wrenching side effects that I was talking about that I went through, these children have to face up to, and their families. And the worst thing, like cancer, if it doesn't kill you, it just tries to wreck everything else, take away everything that's pure in your life. For me, that's being a parent. Like, my moment of clarity came when I realized I was underperforming as a parent, which is the most important job in the world for me. So, I don't know if you can still hear me. There's a bit of construction here. Let's see if we can fiddle around with the camera a bit. There we are. How's that? Okay. So I don't know if you can hear me all right. But yeah, the idea that these children and their families have to deal with that same crisis that I had to face up to, it was appalling. It was completely offensive to me. I don't mean offensive like, oh, he said a dirty word. I mean offensive as in just a profoundly wrong thing, something that should not be in the world. Oops, somebody's saying something. We can hear you. Cool, thanks. I've got my earbuds in. So I think I've got all of the gear that I'll need for my big walk down to Melbourne. I'm going to show you some just beautiful parts of Australia, and I've been a bit stressed out about trying to make that happen. I don't know how clearly you can see the city behind me there, but you know, imagine that's Ballina or Byron Bay or Coffs Harbour. There's some lovely places, inland as well, some beautiful bush that I'm going to be passing through, so I want to be able to share it. Part of it is just that quest, that mad adventure of it. Just escaping, I think just getting in front of cancer and moving away from it, so escaping that. So there's my own personal healing that led me to it. But when I found out about the Kids Cancer Project and how their mission is to resolve pediatric cancer in our lifetimes, I couldn't look past that as a charity. So I realized if I'm going to take a big walk, I should try and be of service. And instantly from that moment, I started healing. So I'm out walking all the time. The cancer destroyed my thyroid, so I put on about 60 kilos in weight. In December, I weighed 140 kilos. There's a video of it on YouTube that will show you, sorry? Oh, yeah, cheers, g'day. Wow, there's a bit of love coming at me. I like that. That's very nice. The thing about it is cancer tries to wreck everything in your life. So for me, thyroid damage, massive weight gain, cramps, wake up choking in the middle of the night, all kinds of horrible things that children should just not in any universe have to face up to. But yeah, massive weight gain. I've lost about 50 kilos in the last 8 months now, 9 months, and still working on it. But yeah, it's for me, finding hope, it was just dumb luck. I don't know. Being of service was a big part of it. And how does a children navigate to that? So it took me 4 years of being crippled with cancer before I can just now come back to life again. And this is what it feels like walking around this beautiful city. There's all these people giving me odd looks, some of outright suspicion. What's wrong with this loony fella? And, they're not wrong to do that. And that's a process of 4 years to get to the point where I can start healing. And I'm not finished healing. So the idea that children have to face up to that, and that for them, the rest of their life is a lot longer than mine, it's just appalling. And that's what it's all about. So I'm walking from Brisbane to Melbourne on the 26th of December of this year. And right now we're just pre-promoting it, I guess. I say we. I guess that means Simon and Captain Australia, the schizophrenic we. So who is the real person, Batman or Bruce Wayne? And no, I don't think I'm Batman. And despite all of the evidence to the contrary, all of the bad decisions, I don't think I'm particularly mental. I'm just trying to do the right thing. Now this is Southbank. I don't know how well you can see it. There's a beach, man-made beach behind us there. Brisbane. I like this landscape view much better. Oops, girls in bikinis. Sorry, didn't mean to film you there. Oh, g'day, mate. How you doing? So I guess people will probably see the big flag and have an idea that I could be streaming. So hopefully I won't get anyone suing me. Well, I've got $5, so come get it. Yeah, look, today I'm just going to walk in through the city and then back home. It's about 12k, I think, all told, and just play with the stream. So I've got this handy dandy selfie stick, and it's even got a stand on it. So let me play with that just for a minute, because we've got such a lovely cityscape behind us. Let's have a go. Lower this bad boy. G'day. Okay. Let's put that up there and see how this works. When I get home, I'll be able to check this out, because this is all for the big walk. Where I'll be on the road for 10 weeks, sleeping rough too. I want to show you what it's like to sleep rough. We've got these new COVID homeless. You've got people who just couldn't afford their mortgages anymore or their rent, and they're just having to sleep in their car or under a bridge. I did that as a child when I walked from Brisbane to Sydney, mainly to evade the police. I didn't want to get into foster care, and I'm doing it now voluntarily to kind of recreate that muscle memory of hope. But yeah, the idea of me sleeping rough, dressed as a big bullfed, finding some bushes to sleep in or something, that in itself should be a bit of an adventure to share. So I want to make sure I've got the technology all going, and let's have a look. Now let's see if you can still hear me. Oh, please go for it. Yeah, I'm just a bullfed, I'm not crazy. So let's see, testing, if you can still hear me. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I think the earbud mic is still working. It hasn't beeped at me or anything. So this is all for science as much as anything else. And I'm going to try different configurations as well. I think I've got a solution that will allow me to do a bit of body cam. I'm using a dodgy iPhone 7 and a magic selfie stick. So that's about the limit of my technology. I do have a solar battery charger and a power pack, so I think I'll be independent for power, which was a point of concern with staying in touch with the family and all of that. And let's see. We'll twist this around. Let's try going up high. Hey! There we go. And there's the city. Very nice. I think that looks all right. So I want to show you all these marvelous places, and maybe I'll keep you out, see if you can hear me like this. And if it's too wobbly when I walk, I might collapse these prongs before one stabs me. Got this little tripod thing. And yeah, we're still streaming okay. Cool. I don't know if you can see that banner flapping behind me. So I look like some sort of a confused samurai. The idea is that I'm a walking billboard, so that just as I go about my quest, anyone who's curious about what's going on can kind of get that moment of recognition. And it's all about pointing you, your friends, anybody who sees me in towards the charity. So on that note, I'm sure you have a bunch of friends, so please just drop or across all your socials. Hey, there's this mad idiot dressed as a superhero walking through Southbank. He's trying to save the world, or at least one child's life. Because there's that old quote from the Talmud. It's the Jewish Bible. I'm not a religious person, but I'm literary, and I love some of these quotes. And this one is, save but one life, and you save the world entire. And I think there's truth in that. It's about the way that kindness propagates. So it's about human decency spreading. I get some looks. Yeah, so it's about human decency spreading, and it's like the old Buddhist proverb that kindness, compassion is the antidote for suffering. And maybe that's why my healing has progressed so well, that it's because I'm trying to do the right thing, trying to be of service. So anyway, we're walking through Southbank, and let's take another lovely look at the river. I don't want to whack a cyclist with my selfie stick, so better be a bit careful. Yeah, I think this landscape view is much better. So we'll go up over the bridge, and then I'll try you on body cam. We'll see how that works. G'day. The look on people's faces that I'm outright clearly mental and it's a nervous breakdown. G'day, how you doing? It's not a nervous breakdown. I'm not mental. It's for charity. G'day. Hey guys, how you doing? You got a fist bump in you? Oh, pow! That was the strongest fist bump I ever had, mate. So we will go up here, cross the magic bridge, and head back. Hey fellas, how you doing? How are you? I do have a sense that at some point I might have to face violence in my walk. I know that probably sounds a little paranoid. I'm not worried about it. If it happens, it happens. But everybody will know where I am. And there'll just be some young buffheads who'll think, that bloke sleeping under a bridge near Ballina, let's go roll him. Just because the world has become so angry and broken, and there's a lot of repressed confusion and whatnot. So I might very well become an outlet for that. I just have to face it, and no worries. If it happens, it happens. But my main concern is if there's an incident, I don't want to get seriously hurt, and I definitely don't want to hurt anyone else. So if ever you're considering coming out and rolling Captain Australia as he walks down the coast, dudes, I'm doing this for charity, okay? I'm just trying to do the right thing, and I don't want to fight you. And if you insist, challenge me to a boxing match or something a bit more civilized. Not that, you can knock me down. My superpower, Captain Australia's official superpowers are: number 1, falling over when I get hit. Number 2, bad dad jokes. I think that's about it, actually. Well, I have lost a dramatic amount of weight, so I do have these skin flaps. So I reckon if I fell off a cliff or out of an aeroplane, I could probably grab some flaps and be a big old glider possum. So gliding for short distances may be an undemonstrated, as yet unproven superpower. Now I'm walking along. I do not want this banner to scrape along anything. And when we get to the bridge up here, I'll try the body cam out. So this is just going to be a long stream, and for a lot of it I'll probably run out of things to say, but I'm just testing the technology. how good the visuals are, and how long I can continually stream for. So far, so good. Now, by the way, there's a thing called Daily Donor Dares of Doom. So anyone who makes a donation of $50 or more can hit me up with a dare. I've only had 2 so far, and they were awful. One of them was Song You Are playlist. And I think they just wanted me to sing from my playlist, so I tried. But it was like Steve Winwood, Higher Love, walking down singing. It's terrible. And the other one was worse. It was Run, Fatty, Run. And I think they were saying, it's a big walk for a reason. I'm too fat to run, so have it show us how you can run, Captain Australia. So I did that as well. I tried. But I would like some inventive dares, ideally. Just have a little bit of fun with it, you know. There's nothing wrong with a bit of a giggle. So if you can dream up any daily donor dares of doom, go for it. And, hey mate, how are you? G'day. Hey fellas. Hey. All right, now, here we go over the bridge. So I've explained what I'm doing and what it's for. What else is there to talk about? I mean, most of it's just a horrible downer, really. Cancer and its side effects. And those consequences are dark and grim. The superhero stuff, I get it that's completely mental. I'm going to switch over to the other side because my banner's going to hit this low-hanging ceiling. I get it that the superhero stuff is completely mental, but it's my way of saying there's darkness in the world and we have to fight it. You, me, we. You know, the whole idea of comic book values, you know, people might dismiss them as childlike, but they're not. They're fundamental, like core human values that we shouldn't laugh at. Things like honor, hope, decency, doing the right thing even if it's the hard thing, you know? And even saying it, I feel a little shy, like you'll think I'm corny, you know, like it's just silly because we're all more sophisticated than that. We're you know, we've somehow evolved past that level of ethics to something more, yeah, I don't know, cerebral. But it's not, it's fundamental. And I guess it's my way of saying that, you know, that you, me, we can do something a little different, and it's okay. You know, we can't individually change the world, but together we can. And it's all about that ripple effect of kindness. You do a good deed, one good deed, one more than you would have done without it. And that's something. It changes the world because the person you help goes on to help somebody else. So when I did the Captain Australia stuff before, I mean, I was stupid and it was stupid. I didn't know what I was doing and what Captain Australia was for. I dropped about $10,000 of my own money on helping people, mainly homeless people, just buying them food, drinks, sitting, talking. I think giving them the time and talking was more important than the food, to be honest. Australia's a lucky country, and we do, at the larger social level, we look after each other. But it's so easy to be disenfranchised, to feel ignored, alone and isolated. So a large part of it was just sitting down with these people and talking about their lives. Some of them were a bit kooky and weird, but you know, we all have our own opinions and thoughts, and I think somewhere along the line we've forgotten how to respect other people's. But yeah, I bought a few replacement bikes for young people who had their bikes stolen. One dude in Parramatta at the train station. There was a young woman. I was walking through the Rocks in Sydney, and I passed this yard where these 2 kids were like, they're cheering, "Hey, Captain Australia, yay!" I'm like, "Hey, fellas, how are ya?" And for me, there's nothing like just that sense of weird, you know, giving that to people. I'm going to cross over again. Don't want to hurt anybody or get hit by a bike. Now check this out. This is the Brisbane River, city behind me. I'll try and get you a better view. But yeah, there was this young mother. I don't know. She had the impression of a harried single mother. I don't know if she was or wasn't. But At the end, like I gave the kids this little calling card I had, and they were like, "Oh yeah, oh, I got to put it on the fridge." And and I said to the mother, "Look, if there's anything that I can do to help you, just let me know." And she said there in front of her kids, "I don't need a effing superhero. I just need to pay my power bill." So we did. So, all right, you got it? Have you got it handy? Yeah, and off we went. We went down to the post office and I paid a bill for it. And that was, I think, just another way to kind of shake that daily, that routine of daily living that we can kind of be hypnotized into believing is the only thing and the only way, because it's not. So here we are, lovely Brisbane. Yeah, I much prefer this landscapey, streamy view. So I'm pretty confident when I do get to some beautiful towns and whatnot, I'll be able to show you some lovely scenes. Are we being watched? We're being watched. G'day. Someone just joined. So I've been rambling on about who I am and what I'm doing. I could just put myself on a loop and then rewind and play again. I'll give a quick rundown. So my name is Simon. I sometimes dress up as the buffhead superhero Captain Australia. I haven't done it in years. I retired him when my second son, as a young toddler, started to exhibit some self-harming behaviours, and we figured out he was autistic, got him diagnosed, dropped everything, helped him, and he's thriving today. But not long ago, or 4 years ago, more than, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 invasive head and neck cancer, 6 months to live deal. They said I had a 40 to 60% chance at curative treatment, and I had total metabolic response, so I was lucky. I'm at a higher risk of recurrence than a normal person, but I appear to have beaten the cancer. But it broke me. It broke me as a human, a viable human being who has hope for the future, who has meaningful ideas, and who makes a daily effort to make the life and his world better. So it broke me. It destroyed all of that. And I couldn't navigate my way out of that hole that I found myself in. And it's only when I realized that, for me, the most crucial job in the world is being a father. And when I realized I was underperforming at that, and I'm still doing a good enough job, I reckon, like a C- to C+ level, but I'm capable of more. And when I realized that, bang, I realized I had to change. And I made a video. It's on YouTube. If you search Captain Australia Walking Towards Hope, you'll see me there. It's raw, vulnerable, and kind of cringy. I weigh 140 kilos pretty much. The cancer wrecked my thyroid. I was having daily pain, vomiting blood, all kinds of horrible, horrible problems. And they had destroyed my hope, wrecked my spirit. And that day I just said, no, I can't, I have to change this. And I reached back to my childhood when I did a big walk. I left home at the age of 15. My mother was an addict. There was a bad home situation. I had to get out. And when I did, I walked from Brisbane to Sydney, and it was an adventure. It was a quest. And in it, I found this sense of hope. And I needed that again. So I decided to take another big walk as a much older man. But then I realized, hang on, I could bring Captain Australia back to life and I could do it for a charity. And now here we are today. So my original motivation was to further my own healing. But by far, it's now about the charity. The Kids Cancer Project is the primary motivation. Because the personal healing, as soon as I found a way that I could be of service, that stuff started happening anyway. So, there's nothing really. I know I'm getting better and I'll continue to get better. So the motivation now is really to help the charity. And I've found that there are people responding to the story. So there are people with problems who are broken, as I am. So there's the idea of leaving a pathway out of it, showing how I escaped rock bottom. And that element is also a very important and rewarding part of what I'm doing as well. So if you're not broken, maybe there's someone in your life who is. Anxiety, depression, alcoholism, whatever it is, cancer itself. I'm an example of just a buffhead, just an old fool, but who has managed to drag himself out of it. And if I can, you absolutely 100% can. So there's giving that. Oh, someone's made a comment. Let me address that. What are we saying? I need glasses. Heck yeah. You walked past. Okay, I walked past you. Keep an eye out for more. Okay, cool. Hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for your kind interest. I'm trying to tell my story, and I tend to ramble because I'm an old fool. And chemotherapy and radiation has left me more prone to that, and either more in touch with or less in control of my emotions, depending on how you look at it as well. So if I start talking about my kids or my hopes, I sometimes tear up. And there's nothing more strange and pathetic than an old weirdo walking around dressed as a superhero, sobbing about his children. But yeah, so the mission now, the 80% of it is just to raise money for the Kids Cancer Project. The rest of it is to help people who are broken as I was see that you don't have to follow a conventional path, but there is a path. You can overcome any darkness, but the crucial element to do that is hope. And without hope, nothing can change. But as soon as you have that little spark of hope, you have to nurture it, breathe life into it, and it grows. In that process of nurturing it, it grows. You share it with other people and it grows. And that hope that you can achieve positive change, that positive change is available in your life, is the fundamental. The whys and the hows of how to get better don't really matter. Dress up as a superhero, fine. Get a job helping people with disabilities, fine. Become a pole dancer, fine. Whatever it is, the detail isn't important. What matters is you have hope of constructive, positive change in your life. And yeah, so that Walking Towards Hope video I made, that shows me finding mine, and maybe it'll help other people come to theirs. So that's who I am, that's what I'm doing. And today I'm just walking through the city, playing with the selfie stick, the stream, and right now there's QUT over there. I actually went to QUT. I'm on that bike track that runs along the city, and it heads out into the western suburbs where I live. And I'm sorry, I've got a dodgy little iPhone. It's hard for me to see the comments. The world needs more of you for sure. Well, that's very kind of you. Hugh. Yeah, cheers, Hugh. I don't think it's necessarily me. So the world is in dire need, absolutely. But it's just one of the things I'm trying to channel. Hope. I think that's what the world needs. We're all muddled up. You can scratch the surface on any given topic, any given group of people, and you just find all of this, I don't know, this scary stuff. It's like we don't seek consensus anymore. We're so eager to argue. So I don't know that the world necessarily needs me, but the world needs constructive hope of positive change, and we need to sort of individually hold hands and start moving towards that, I reckon. And if me walking around like a hopeful buffhead helps you or anybody else come to that place, well, then that's it. Job number 2 done. But yeah, job number 3 is just to have a big old adventure. I'm gonna be walking for 10 weeks, and it's hard. I went down to the Gold Coast, not this past weekend, the weekend before that. So I did it in one continuous walk with a few little breaks along the way. I set out at 7 a.m. on the Friday, and I finished at 6 a.m. on the Saturday, and I was wrecked. It was a mess. And that's not what my big walk is about. It's not athletic, sort of competitive walking. My health is getting better every day, and that's great. But it's about the quest of it, the adventure of it. But I did want to see, if I had a big march, can I escape Brisbane overnight? Because it would suck to start my big walk and then be sleeping under a bridge at Capalaba on the first night or something. So my kids are, I don't know, within shouting distance. Hey kids, are you in bed yet? Yeah, Dad. You know, that would just be a mess. So it's good to know I in the first day I'll just walk solidly, get to Dreamworld or somewhere about there, just pre-Gold Coast, find a discreet place to sleep, rough, and then following day I'm in the Gold Coast, and then I'm out into the world after the Gold Coast, cross the border. And then there's just some the east coast of Australia is beautiful. And, you know, I might go in a bit inland, see some bush and there's some gorgeous rainforest. So yeah, we'll just see how we go. I'll be building the itinerary in the coming months, and there's captainaustralia.online. That's where I'm posting it. So if you wanted to check that out, sorry, I'll scoot past these people so I don't freak them out any more than I probably already have. Yeah, so there's captainaustralia.online, and that's where I'm putting the itinerary. And if anybody wanted to join me for even a small stretch, or well, the day I leave is Boxing Day, so I think everybody will be in a bit of a turkey and booze coma. But as you can see, we're in a limbo under here. Limbo, 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 lay. Limbo, 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 la. Limbo, 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 lay. This lady looked at me like I'm completely bonkers, and she's not wrong to do it. Okay. So it's a pain in the ass to take the banner down, so if I can do anything to get past an obstacle, that's better. Oops, we have some other remark to address. What are we saying here? So it's so small. A lot of joy too. One of my favourite. Okay, it cut your remark short. I'm sorry. I'll look at that when I get home. Good day. How you doing? I'm not mental. I mean, I am, but I'm safe. And it's not a nervous breakdown, midlife crisis. I'm walking to Melbourne for the Kids Cancer Project at the end of the year. So it's a very important charity, and I'm trying to serve that charity in my own crazy way. Have a lovely day. See, sometimes you get smiles, and that's great. But sometimes you get these outright looks of suspicion. G'day, how you doing? We'll cross over, head up in towards the city a bit. I need to sort of evaluate which camera is better when I do a stream. You know, are you interested in seeing the world or having a chat with me? So in this case, it feels a bit wobbly because I'm holding it in my hand. Let's just head up here. And, construction. When you're wearing a big samurai banner on your back, construction is bad news. Because you have to, well, I've got this Tony Stark level solution where I just slip the backpack sideways and it allows me to get under obstacles. So, where are we? All right. I might try now the body cam. We've got another comment. Okay, same comment. So bear with me a second. Whoops. Let's see what happens when I flip this over. Rotate your phone. I did. There we are. Now, I guess I'm probably upside down. Hello. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Okay, so the orientation is locked in the stream. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is put you over my shoulder. Try that, put you on this pack here. So bear with me a second. And we'll go through the city and you can look at the confused people looking back at me. Okay. Let's figure this out. So we've got the stick. Pop this here. And pop that in there. And pivot you around. So now you're going to be looking over my shoulder, seeing hopefully most of what I see. So bear with me a second while we set that up. And I'll see if I can get some decent sort of quality for you. Because I've got 3 months until I leave for Melbourne. And now I'm just walking around promoting the charity and trying to get good, you know, learn how to do a good job with all of this stuff, because I don't have good camera good gear. I don't have a magic drone to follow me around or anything. So you will now be the angel on my shoulder, and I think my audio is still going. So let's see. You should be able to see and hear as I walk through the city. And if it's all messed up, I'm sorry. This is a test. This is as much for my learning as anything else. So let's head over here. I'll keep talking randomly just so that I can know that the audio still works. Across the road. Look at that, Captain Australia. You're doing it, big boy. You crossed the road all by yourself. Well done, fella. Okay. Here we go. I don't know if you're seeing much as I see people walking towards us. It would be nice if you could see some of the reactions. Some of them are joyful and great. Some of them are funny. Hey fellas, how are ya? Construction guys whistled at me. That must mean I'm pretty sexy, huh? Hey! Have a good one, fellas. I don't know if you saw that. I believe the camera is oriented, and I'm sorry if it's not. I just got whistled at by some construction workers, which was cool. Now we'll just figure out where we want to go next. Let's. The flag may block you too. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Okay. You lose credibility walking around dressed as a superhero, but when you're talking to yourself, it's like you're narrating your own movie. Captain Australia boldly approached the intersection and pushed the cross button. The world was impressed. You know? But I need to know that you can hear me as I walk around. If you can see the big yellow flag and nothing else at the moment, I apologise. The wind will change. We rely on the elements. And here we are. Okay. So for those of you not from lovely Brisbane, Brisbaneus Maximus, that's where we are, Brisbane, Australia. I think there's at least one person who's dropped in and out from the good old Merca. So Brisbane is a lovely city. It's amongst the capitals. It's got probably a very laid-back reputation. You know, it's very much a summer city. The weather all year round is pretty good. You know, you get your wet season and get your nasty weather, but for the most part, the climate is a big draw card for Brisbane. And very sort of laid back, relaxed. In the old days, you could go into the city and do your business in a pair of thongs. These days, it's, you know, like everywhere, a bit more urbane, which is not a bad thing, I suppose. Them frontier days are over. So, okay, we've got a high ceiling up here. So most of my challenges I've walked through a city is not hitting electric poles and low ceilings and stuff, and people on bikes. So, all good so far. Now let me check in the reflection if you can see. There you go. I see the camera's oriented, so you can probably see us in there. Hopefully you're seeing roughly what I do. And we will, well, my home is about 12 kilometres or so away from the city. So I guess that's where we'll go. See how long the stream lasts. And when the stream gives up, sorry if I don't say goodbye, because I won't know at first. Okay, let's have a drink of water. Okay. I get this impression that I should be more polished in what I'm doing. I'm doing it just like a bumbling old fool because I am just a bumbling old fool. And I guess that gives it authenticity, but it's not on purpose. I get the feeling that I should be, clearer in what I say, clearer in the core messages of what I'm doing. And if you've randomly stumbled into the stream, Captain Australia, I'm going to walk from Brisbane to Melbourne at the end of the year for the Kids Cancer Project. 950 Aussie kids are diagnosed every year. 20% of them will not survive treatment. The remainder will suffer chronic, lifelong side effects. I can tell you all about those. I suffered them myself, overcoming a stage 4, 6 months to live prognosis with a head and neck cancer. So I'm all good. I had total metabolic response to treatment, but not everyone is so lucky. And even when you do beat the cancer, it tries to trick you and rope-a-dope you and grind you down because it takes away your hope of longer-term survival. It makes you suffer horrible side effects, and no child should have to endure that. So fundamentally, that's what I'm about. It's helping this charity called the Kids Cancer Project. And if you are watching this now randomly, wondering why this goofy idiot is doing what he's doing, that's the reason. And if you can look past me and look at that charity, there'll be a sticky post on the Facebook page, or you can look at captainaustralia.online, you'll find links. There's a page, if you see the word Raisley in the URL, that's the Kids Cancer Project charity page. You can donate there. It's an incredibly worthy cause. My personal goal is to raise $250,000 for the charity. My rest of my life karma, feel great goal is to raise $1 million for that charity. Sorry, I get emotional when I think about that, actually. It's just, there are things that can redeem you as a person. G'day, sorry. And I think if we achieved that, I could live the rest of my life with gratitude. We will. Okay, high ceilings here. I might cross over. Okie dokie. And I'm talking mainly to see how long the audio lasts before my earbuds cut out, and to make sure that as I walk around, if I've got something to say, it'll be audible, because I tried to stream yesterday and the audio was terrible, and I'm sorry about that. I should do something funny, like just narrate. Captain Australia impudently returned the stares of the people looking at him. How dare you judge me, he thought, as the rage simmered inside his heroic heart. I don't really feel that way. But, narration has to have drama. If it doesn't, it's a laundry list. It's, fish, bread, eggs, milk. So Captain Australia boldly strode across the road, looked up at the sky, saw the looming clouds. Terror struck his old heart. Will lightning hit the banner? Am I a walking lightning rod? He mused. Yeah, g'day. Let's go. How you doing? Okay. I suppose I am a walking lightning rod. Sorry? Yeah, sure you can. G'day.
Say something.
G'day, I'm Captain Australia. I'm going to walk Brisbane to Melbourne on the 26th of December for the Kids Cancer Project. And this is my new best mate, Barry.
Yeah!
Hey!
Have a good day.
Yeah, cheers. Everyone's Barry. If you don't know their name, Barry. Boy, girl, gender unknown, Barry. Barry is a gender-neutral name. Well, it is for me. See, I'm an old man. I get a pass on some of that. I want to be absolutely respectful to everybody, but I keep screwing up. I met this lovely person who I think they were trans, but I kept like calling them mate, and I sometimes even they'd say something like really insightful, and I'd be like, oh man, I never thought about that. And it's just using these gendered terms that, I kept saying, oh shit, I'm so sorry, I'm just an old fool. And they showed me a lot of tolerance and kindness, and I was really encouraged by that. So I think it's in all of us to be tolerant and to be kind. But what happens is we get stuck in this sort of team mentality, not team humanity, but you're on team A with a certain political viewpoint, I'm on team B, and there's no middle ground. So there's no consensus. Opinions I feel are like rectums. We all have one, and you need to understand that. And they're all slightly different, and it's not really rewarding to compare them. Live your own truth and be happy and respect that everybody else has one too. And if we can do that, I think the world does better. I'm getting some looks. I think the fact that I'm talking to myself about rectums isn't helpful. Let's see how the camera is. Yeah, camera's still there. So we'll walk through the mall and we'll see how that looks on a stream. Hopefully okay. I'm going to have a drink of water. With all this traffic noise, also curious to see how the audio comes across. I got these earbuds in underneath my superhero cowl or mask or whatever you... that was better. Whatever you would call it. So we'll test their effectiveness. Okay. Oh, there he goes. These scooters. I'm surprised more people don't come to grief on these scooters. Now, am I required to wear a face mask through here? I do not know. I'm outdoors. G'day. Thank you. How you doing? I feel a bit awkward. I've got to get past that because I think discovering people... I've been living in a cave of pain for 5 years. So part of this is me coming out into the world as well. So if I just say, hey, g'day, how are you? And don't have a conversation with somebody, it's a missed opportunity. Okay, so here we go. Walking. And I believe you are still the angel on my shoulder. And I hope that you can see and hear all that I do. Oh, there's some music. That's nice. I will respectfully stop talking. Is that under the bridge? No. It's really big or less big. Let's get out of here. Don't want to steal that lady's thunder. You've got a nice voice. So, here we go. Okay. I don't really know where we're going or why.
Where's the rest of the Calvary?
Sorry?
Where's the rest of the Calvary?
I'm all by myself, mate. Yeah, no help. No, yeah. I think you're getting me mixed up, though. This is more of a samurai get-up than, yeah.
You're a samurai guy.
Yeah, that's a big samurai banner, you know. I might look a little confused, but you should be able to tell a bit, you know.
Do you have a bird?
Yeah, well, he's up there somewhere. Hang on. Yeah, he's hunting, looking for mice or something, mate. Yeah.
It's not still prison, is it?
I am not mental. It's for charity, right? So I'm going to walk to Melbourne at the end of the year for the Kids Cancer Project. Yep. 10 weeks, continuous walking, no help, sleeping rough. I get what I'm doing is goofy and funny, and I want people to be amused. But I don't want that to somehow undermine the seriousness of the charity too. because again, it's all about those 950 kids every year, or children as yet unborn. G'day, how you doing? So the science, the research will benefit children as yet unborn. So it's, again, today is a iterative and building gain for the future. It's Wednesday, it's Thursday today, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Where are we going? I'm gonna head down here. Oops. We'll avoid this ceiling, I think. Walking through the Queen Street Mall. Maybe I should narrate, freak some people out. Our bold hero strode boldly through the mall, boldly returning the bold gazes of the bold people who passed him.
Australia.
Hey mate, how you doing?
I've seen you on TV.
Oh yeah, we're gonna walk to Melbourne at the end of the year for a
Melbourne,
kids
yeah.
cancer project. G'day, I'm Simon.
Dave,
Dave, how are you, Dave?
you're doing a fucking good thing, brother.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. That's really kind of you to say. Yeah.
You have a nice, safe trip, brother.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
Who knows? Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably good for the charity if I don't. Like if I get bit by a dingo or something, it'll get on the news.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy. Okay, so there's a dude who watches the project, I guess. That was a lovely story they did, I thought. There was a dude openly picking his nose. I don't know if you saw that. That was a bit gross. Now, I don't know how the camera is going on my shoulder or how the audio is going from my ear and mouth. And now we're just walking through the city. So anybody who randomly drops into the stream, this is Brisbane. It's the Queen Street Mall. People just wandering about doing their business. And I'm walking smack down the middle of it. Maybe I'll go into the valley and just cop a train home. It's school holidays at the moment, so it's I sort of promised the charity that I'd try and get out every day. So even though it's school holidays and I really wanted to spend as much time as I could with the kids, I feel that I'm obligated to be out here at the moment and just, I don't know, the police would call it maintaining a presence, and it's really just to get as much practice as possible with the gear before the walk, I suppose. So I don't know how this shoulder cam's working. I'll pull that off in a minute and change perspective. Now the valley, I used to live in the valley. It used to be a weird and wonderful place. I'm sure it's, what's the word? Not emancipate. There's a word, gentrified. Is it gentrification? I'm sure it's very gentrified. But when I lived there, it was rough. It was the red light district, really. So when I was working through uni, 6 nights a week, I'd clean the local shopping centre. During the day, I'd go to uni, and I lived in a block of units that were basically the prostitution corner for Brisbane. It's the corner of Brunswick and Harcourt Street, which is now probably just a lovely upmarket or Art Deco refurbished style of, inner city living. But back then, it was pretty rough. But we are talking low many years ago. How many? 25. Jesus, I'm old. Oh no, I just, moment of clarity, I am old. When you finished university 25 years ago, you're not young anymore. Okie dokie. Walking through the city, here we go. Walking through the city, what do you know? Fiddly diddly diddly dee. Okay. Okay. Now, I'll check one of these reflective windows and make sure you're still on my shoulder and still facing in the right direction. That was the general post office over there. I don't know if you can have a great view. I'm very curious to see this when I get back. So over there you can see that's Central Station. So I'm looking clearly at it and I have no idea what you see. And I don't know if you can hear me say that Central Station. So when I get home, I'll be able to check that out and it'll give me a lot of insight into how I can best manage these streams. I would hate it to see something beautiful like, I don't know, it's not the right season for whales and whatever, but I might be outside Byron and see a whale or something. And if the stream is rock solid, I could have a good confidence that I'd catch it. And it's for you, but it's not only for you as well. Like my children, part of this is also legacy. So I have 3 young sons. When I was diagnosed with my own stage 4 cancer, my youngest child was 3 years old. He's 8 now. And maybe in the future, like maybe, Donnie, maybe you're 18 and you're watching this. And I've passed on. Maybe the cancer came back. And part of why I'm doing this crazy stuff, buddy, is so that you have this piece of me forever. And so I'd hate to see something wonderful, but my incompetence with the streaming and the gadgets and whatever meant that it was missed. So that's what this practice is all about, and that's what this long and probably quite boring stream is all about. Okie dokie, artichoke. Now we'll ease our way through here. Ease our way around here. There we go. Sort of like a game of Tetris. Walking through the city with this big banner behind me. Oh dear. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Let's navigate over this way. There we go. Now let's see if you're still on my shoulder. You've turned a little. That looks all right. Don't know what you can see or cannot see, or if the stream has stopped. We'll check that out in a bit, and we'll try different views. And after the Gold Coast walk, I had incredible blisters all over my feet. It was full on. You're just not meant to walk that long without taking a break. So, you do 10K, rest for 10 minutes. Do 10K, rest for 10 minutes. You can go all day and night. It's fine. But if you don't take the rests, your feet get soggy, abraded, blistery. The blisters grow. One will pop. They get sore. So it's nasty and painful. But although the blisters were magnificent, they've healed up and calloused over really nicely. So the boots are like a second skin, very comfortable. And I know now with the calluses that I probably could walk all day, 24 hours even, and I don't think I'd be, I'd need to have treatment. I might get more blisters, but they wouldn't be as severe. So let's get away from this roof and over here. Hey mate, how you doing? How are you? Okay. Now, let's figure this out. Walking through the city. Okay. How's the solar battery going? Not very great. Don't know. Okay. So let's reconfigure, because lamentably there's construction up ahead and we cannot get through with this big stupid banner. Oh, it's not stupid. It's a lovely banner. You're a lovely boy. Okay. So let's pull this out and see if we're still streaming, huh? Oh yeah, we are. But a comment. Too fine. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I don't have resources. I might, maybe if the media continues to take an interest, I might be able to get like a corporate sponsor to make a big donation to the charity, and they might hook me up with some gear to better record an advert for them or something. But as it stands, I'm stuck with my dodgy old iPhone 7 and what the stuff that I've bought. So I've spent $1,000 that I didn't have on all this sort of military style kit, which it's great. The boots and the pack are amazing. Like this pack that I'm carrying, which, let's flip you around. Whoops. So this pack that I'm carrying here, it weighs now with the gear in it, that's a good 15, 20 kilos almost. But on my pack, whoops, sorry, dropped you. On my pack, on my back rather, it weighs next to nothing because of the science of the weight distribution of it. It's amazing. So now I've got it slung over one shoulder, and we're continuing in to the valley. The stream's still going. I'm not sure about the audio. Earbuds are in my ear, but there's nothing for me to signify. It needs a little bit of a meter to show how the sound is coming across to you. But yeah, so sorry if anybody who's just joined in. This is a rando test stream. You're with Captain Australia. My name's Simon. It may look like a midlife crisis or a nervous breakdown. It is not. I am working in the server. It's not my job. It's not a paid job. All my payment comes in good karma. But what I'm doing is in the service of a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. So basically, it's all about resolving pediatric cancer in our lifetimes. The charity is all about the science of that. So every donated dollar goes into research, and those research hours are on projects geared towards towards science to to solve cancers that specifically attack children. So the average age for these types of cancer at diagnosis is 6 years old. Okay, 950 Aussie children every year diagnosed, 20% do not survive treatment. Okay, so that's what a couple of hundred kids every year who just die straight up from it. The ones that don't, the other 750 or so, they suffer the same crippling lifelong side effects that I did coming out of a stage 4 head and neck cancer. So for me, chemoradiation, it's the treatment, not the cancer. Chemoradiation destroyed my thyroid, facial cramps, all kinds of problems. And the ultimate, the message from that isn't feel sorry for me at all. Somehow I've found hope and healing, and largely that's from being of service. But the message of that is consider just for a second the kind of things that would cripple a grown man, like put him in a deep hole. 4 years it took me to climb out of that cancer pit. And consider then, extrapolate that across to a child. You know, it's just wrong. It's profoundly wrong. So that's what I'm about. That's what the big walk is about. So it's about furthering my own personal healing. That's a large part of it, but the larger part is just in the service of this important charity. So if you wanted to support that, A, you're a bloody legend, you're wonderful. B, you can visit captainaustralia.online, and the main page will have a donate button. It goes through to a page that the charity control. So if it says Raisley, you're in the right place. It's Captain Australia's Big Walk, and it's a Raisley page that the charity handle, and all the donations flow directly through to the charity. So people keep trying to come up and hand me money. I can't do anything with it. You have to go to the Raisley page. Well, I can, but I have to donate on your behalf, and it's, you know, a little awkward. But yeah, so on captainaustralia.online or in the sticky post on Facebook, you'll see the top post on the Cap's Big Walk Facebook page has links. And you can go through, and if you can find it in your heart to donate, that's great. Don't do it out of guilt. There's all the charities in the world just shaking the bucket, try and give until you have no more to give. I think giving is a great thing, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a blessed thing, but you do it with joy. Do it because it's the right thing. Don't feel guilty about it. So if you're watching and you think, it's just funny, I'm just funny, that's cool. Enjoy, please. It's my gift to you. If you take hope from what I'm doing, the fact that I've lifted myself up out of that stage 4 cancer hole, if you take hope from that you can do it as well, please take it. That's my gift to you. So only donate to the Kids Cancer Project if you feel, as I do, that it's such a profoundly worthy cause. And if you do, you're a bloody legend. But yeah, it's all about resolving pediatric cancer in our lifetimes. So there are very specific classes of cancer. It's about softening the treatments, helping the kids going through treatment, but the science behind making sure that on detection, the survival rates and the side effect rates and the human suffering of it all, just every dimension of it gets better until it's just no longer the horrible death sentence that it is now for these little children. 6 years is the average age. I keep saying that. So I have 3 sons myself. When I was diagnosed with a stage 4 head and neck cancer, 6 months to live, my youngest son was 3 years old. Beautiful kid. My eldest was 7. He's now 12. He's in high school. What a joy my boys are, you know? And I feel so blessed to be still in their life. The biggest part of cancer for me was the existential crisis, the idea of the world rolling on with me out of it. What happens to my children? You know? For them facing the grief of a lost father, because I think I'm a pretty good dad. So the children having to face up to that positive figure being absent from their young lives, I found crippling, horrible. And I still have to face up to that. I'm at a higher risk than a normal person of developing future cancer just because of all the chemo radiation. But I'm good and I'm strong, and I found that strength largely through my big walk. So Simon has somewhat been rescued by Captain Australia. And if you're suffering, if you have some crippling problem that you feel that you can't overcome, that's his message, that guy. I'm talking about another guy that it's me, but it's a different face of me. And the message is that, look, just this silly buffhead can lift himself up and heal himself. That's available to you as well. That's something that's achievable for you. And it's all about hope. It's about taking hope and winding it into your daily life. And hope is just knowing that, not tricking yourself, not mind gaming, but knowing that a positive change is available to you. You may have to, do some hard work. It doesn't necessarily come for free, but knowing in your bones that positive change is available. And as soon as you have that in your heart, you can move forward, you can make improvements. And it's that message, I guess. Also, that's my gift to you. You don't have to donate. You take that away. Anybody who gets anything from what I'm doing, bless you. I'm just an old buffhead. The idea of being of service, not just to the Kids Cancer Project, but to you, to anybody who's hurt and broken as I was, is, cheers, mate, thank you. Cheers, thanks. Anybody who can benefit from my suffering is absolutely welcome to it, and that gives something to me that I wouldn't have expected in the deepest part of my cancer fight. And it just proves the old saying that kindness is the antidote to suffering, and that's something that we can all hold hands and share. And I don't know. Anyway, I'm now headed towards the valley, and I think the stream's gone reasonably well. I'm looking forward to seeing the quality when I get home. I don't know if half of what I've said is audible, and if it is, I don't know if it's of value to anybody out there in the world. But if there's just one person, it's you that I'm talking to, and if I can help you lift yourself up, that's wonderful. And if it's not you, maybe there's somebody in your life who needs it. And low roofs. Let's Tony Stark up. Look at this. Oh, Iron Man. Down goes the banner. Look at that. That's pretty high tech. So I'm now carrying my bag side saddle with the banner behind me, not above me. And it works. So cities are a bit iffy. If you're a samurai, carrying a samurai banner, cities are a challenge. But also our woodlands. Anywhere with low-hanging branches is a bit of a nightmare as well. But part of my job is to be a walking signpost for the Kids Cancer Project. So the idea is you can take a photograph of that and it recognises the QR code. Off you go to the charity page. Coins start falling out of your pockets into the pockets of the researchers taking on the pediatric cancer. Oh, sorry, there's a comment. I want to respect anybody who's watching and then respond to you. Oh, it's the same comment from before. I want to react to you, but I can't see the comments in the outfit and on the tiny phone. So I'm sorry about that. If I could find a better solution, I would, and I'll keep trying. So, into the valley, and I think I'll just hop on a train and no, let's walk back. Oh, there's a bit of a storm coming in, maybe. I don't know if you can see that banner flopping. Check out that bad boy. Indecisiveness. That's my superpower, being indecisive. I can hop on a train, head out to Indooroopilly. Oh, I could buy the kids a treat at Indooroopilly. Let's do that. Do I have money? What am I doing? This is being streamed to the internet. What am I doing? Okay. Well, bit of wind. let's go. What I might do now is try you on the body cam. So, before we've done over the shoulder, this last bit, let's do straight on my heart, okay? So, let's, I don't know if this is going to be any good at all. I apologize if it's not, but